Today, we're going to talk all about choosing a company to handle your IRA. It's a big deal. Who is that custodian? Who's going to handle your money? After all, this is your retirement we're talking about. That's why you'll want to determine your custodian and are they a good fit for you and your goals before you trust them with your hard-earned money. Now, today I'm going to share with you 5 questions that you should ask your IRA custodian. This is by no means a comprehensive list, but just to get you some ideas, to get the ball rolling for you when it comes to finances, you always want to do your own due diligence. So do your own homework. Number 1 on my list, what types of assets can I buy in my IRA? Now, the IRS has some regulations on this, and your custodian might as well. Be sure you know what you're getting into before you entrust a custodian with your funds. Think about this for a second. There are restrictions specifically around self-direction, etc., to know that you cannot buy comic books inside of your IRA. You cannot loan money to a family member. What sort of restrictions do they have at their company for what you can and cannot do with your IRA funds? Number 2 on my list is, can I self-direct? Can I actually truly self-direct these assets if they're in my IRA? As a real estate investor, this is one question you do not want to skip. So ask your custodian if you can self-direct your investments and exactly what that means. You're going to want full checkbook control, true self-direction. So be sure to work with a company that can offer that. Now, let me give you an example of a pitfall that you might encounter. Let's say you're with one of the big boys. Let's say you're with a Fidelity or, I don't know, TD Ameritrade or Charles Schwab or one of those companies that runs millions of dollars in television commercials, okay? You might have a 401k plan with them. You might have some sort of a retirement account with them. You call them up and you say, hey, John, can I self-direct my retirement money? And they'll say, sure, you have control. You can invest in real estate if you want. Oh, really? Can I? Can I actually buy a house inside of my IRA and then take all of that cash flow tax-free so when I retire, it's all tax-free wealth? The answer is no, if they're honest with you. But they will say, well, Clayton, you can't actually buy a house, but you can invest in a real estate stock like a REIT if you want. That's not self-direction. That's a lie. But they will tell you these lies in order to keep your money with them. This happened to me when I was with Fidelity. I had a 401k plan, and I called them up and I said, I'd like to transfer my money out to a self-directed account. And they told me on the phone, well, you can have self-direction. You can invest in whatever you want. I said, oh, really? Knowing the answer, I already knew better than this. And I said, well, okay, I'd like to buy a house inside of my retirement plan. Oh, well, you can buy real estate through a real estate REIT, a stock, which is horrible. That's like 3 levels removed from the actual property. Why would anyone do that? No, thank you. No, so let me just be clear, Fidelity. Like, I want to buy a house, a physical rental property that cash flows, and that cash flow then becomes tax-free until retirement. I get to take that money out tax-free. Can I do that? No, you can't. So your custodian should enable you to be fully self-directed. That's what that company should offer. There's not a lot of them out there, so you need to be careful and discerning with your questions about self-direction. Number 3 on my list, what is your experience with self-direction when you talk with them? Look for a company that specializes in self-directed accounts and has a proven track record of doing this. Now, our partner company at Sidira Wealth has over 20 years experience in real estate and over $1 billion in sales. And so we have a link below to our website at Morris Invest where you can book a call with us. We will help you get a self-directed IRA set up in a matter of 10 minutes because that's our specialty with our team. Number 4 on my list, what fees can I expect to pay? As always, you should know what fees you're going to be paying. Your custodian should be honest and upfront and not charge exorbitant fees. Now, I can tell you when I worked with a financial advisor years ago in the city of Philadelphia, I didn't know all of the hidden fees that she was charging me. And it wasn't until we dug into the details to find out the thousands of dollars that she was charging me a year just to manage my money. I learned my lesson the hard way, and that'll never happen again. But true self-direction IRA custodians are not that expensive, and they only really charge an annual fee, and it's very small. That's definitely compared to what you're paying one of those big brokerages that are going to manage your money for thousands of dollars in fees. There's a website called FeeX. If you want to check it out, it'll show you all of the hidden fees that are inside of your 401k and your IRA that you might not even know about until you go the true self-direction route. Number 5, Do they provide financial education? You know that I'm very big on financial education. And I would never recommend working with a company that simply sets up your IRA and then sends you on your way. You should be working with a company that knows the ins and outs of IRAs, real estate investing, and building a healthy retirement portfolio. So for more on self-directed IRAs, I want you to watch this next video on the power of using a self-directed account to build wealth. Click the video, and we'll see you next time, everyone.